Oh my god, it's a fucking miracle. I've been trying to get this video shot all goddamn morning and now it's finally working. Hi guys, how the hell are you? I hope you're having a better fucking day than I am. Let's do the album of the week. So anyways, last week there was a handful of new releases that came out. Probably more than a handful, but not really anything that was sticking out so much, with one glaring exception. And that would be that we finally got a new Blood Incantation record. Blood Incantation, I liked that first record, but it really, there was a few things about it that didn't quite grab me. And I think what it was is I think it was something to do with me as a listener. Because this new record, it's not really like branching off into completely different territory at all. But I feel like I'm finally getting it. This band plays a kind of death metal that is a little intricate, a little technical, very atmospheric, and because of that, you know, you can definitely draw comparisons between them and a bunch of other bands, you know. I mean, I'm hearing like on the least technical side, you can definitely draw comparisons to bands like Incantation and Immolation and even Morbid Angel. But then on the kind of more technical side, I hear a lot of stuff that's very similar to bands like The Chasm, maybe Gorguts, maybe even to a certain extent bands like Nocturnus definitely has some serious influence going on here. So if you're into death metal that has some crazy vibes going on like that, this should definitely be right up your alley. This was a great record, albeit I felt like it was significantly short. I do like records to be leaving the listener wanting a little bit more, but I feel like this record was a little bit too short. I could have done with at least another song or two. And the reason why I say another song or two is because these guys technically write some pretty long stuff. The album Closer is over 15 minutes long, and damn if it's not a great fucking track start to finish. And also, you know, I'm not too thrilled with the fact that one of the only 4 songs on this record was an instrumental. Like, I don't know, it just seemed to me like, we couldn't come up with lyrics to it. But anyways, that's the vibe I got. But all the same, absolutely killer record. It's brutal when it needs to be. It's ethereal when it needs to be. It's atmospheric when it needs to be. It just kind of kicks ass start to finish for the most part. Got some great guitar work going on, some great little interplay between the two guitarists. The guitars are cool. The one thing that I will say though that like sticks out a lot is you'll start to notice as a guitar player that there's a lot of phaser that keeps coming in, like when they're doing solos or when they're doing these like little interlude sections. A lot of phaser. The vocals are guttural, brutal, but at the same time a little bit back in the mix. There again, just letting the full sonic landscape kind of come forward. The drums, really kick-ass, not super intricate, not super technical, not like on a Hans Grossman or John Longstreth level, but just kind of brutal and straightforward and technical when it needs to be, but at the same time not going off the beaten path for the sake of doing so. It definitely serves the purpose of the song. And that's kind of really what the whole album seems to be like for the most part. There's not really a whole lot of times where they veer off for the sake of it. It's all for the purpose of creating a killer death metal record. And I don't know, for that reason, I can't see anything else other than to call it the album of the week. It was just really solid start to finish. So I don't know, special mention. I don't know, I can't really come up with anything this week. I just felt like a lot of the releases that came out this week were good, but not great. And not really anything was so terrible that I would rather call that out either. I just felt like this week was just kind of and then you had like maybe a couple great releases and one really awesome release in the whole thing. So yeah, here's to hoping the next week will be better. Oh, wait a minute. No, next week is definitely going to be better because if nothing else, the new cattle decapitation record comes out. But yeah, we'll see if anything else comes out next week that can top that. That's going to be tough.